This is Beyond the Stand, a podcast exploring the evolving voices, values, and practices in music education. I'm your host, Jeremy Bryant, a high school popular music educator and Master of Music in Music Education candidate at Belmont University. This podcast is part of my personal and professional journey to answer one big question: how can we provide excellent, rigorous, and relevant music education through the lens of popular music? In each episode, I speak with educators, students, and leaders who are shaping what music education looks like today and what it can be tomorrow. Whether you're rooted in traditional ensembles, teaching modern band, or somewhere in between, you're invited to this conversation. Let's get started. Hello and welcome back to Beyond the Stand. In part one of this conversation, we explored the impact of popular music education from the student perspective, what it meant to them, and why they stayed with it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get into the how, what this class actually looks like, how students balance it with the rest of school, and what advice they'd give to educators looking to start their own popular music, or as we call it at BGA, commercial music program. So again, our guests are Brody Watson, guitarist first and picked up drums pretty quickly, has been in our program for 4 years, and then Audrey Priddy, who is a piano player and has been in our program for 1 year. Both will be seniors this coming year, so looking forward to continuing to get their perspectives on this class. So let's talk about some of the nuts and bolts of what commercial music at BGA looks like. Can you walk us through the different kind of activities that we're doing in class over the course of a semester?
Yeah, so I feel like the first step is finding the songs that you want to play and like what the overall theme is going to be. And this year is yacht rock, which I personally love. So we got some songs, listen to them, and then I feel like a big part of it is making a form chart. I feel like that helps a lot of people, including me. I mean, it's very helpful. But and then after we do that, we take some time to get our own parts down and then come together as a band and work out the little like problems that we have here and there. And we just rehearse over and over and over again. Practice makes perfect, Yeah.
Any other thoughts, Audrey?
I think like another thing that we did a lot that was really helpful was just listening to the songs together and kind of breaking down, oh, this is where like this guitar solo is at, this is how this thing works. And just like listening to the song in a more analytical sense instead of just listening to it for entertainment purposes.
Right. Yeah, I think that's been a big focus because what I discovered in coming into this role, like I said before, I was a regular middle and high school band director, but then coming into this role and realizing, oh, we have to learn how to listen to music in an analytical way and break it apart. And Brody, you talked about the form chart. I think that's a big part of that in helping people guide their way through music. Yeah, so those activities, it's fun. It's funny how, to me, some of these things seem more, trying to think more academic, when I think about, oh, we are going to sit down and we're going to, like when you guys did the Red Hot Chili Peppers tune.
Yeah.
And well, your group did that. And then Callie and Charlie did the, I keep blanking on songs on this, but the Toad the Wet Sprocket tune.
Yeah.
And you guys just listened to it and had to format your own way. Like I see that as more of an academic activity, but when you guys are talking about it, it's just like, yeah, we learned the song.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool is me as a teacher, I say, oh, let's do this lesson plan type thing. And it translates to you guys as we're learning music. I think that's really cool. What kind of projects or performances have been your favorite this year or in years past?
I remember we played Rosanna at an assembly in front of the whole school, which I was terrified for. But we'd practiced that song so many times. And when we got up there to play it, that was one of my favorite performances like ever. And I wasn't nervous. I don't know why. I rehearsed the song a million times, but then me and Palmer did like a little guitar battle. Yeah. And that was really fun. And I wasn't like nervous at all. I was just like going with the flow.
Yeah, you were really prepared, so you got to be in the moment in the performance. Audrey, you were in the audience. You weren't in the program yet. So how do you feel about that performance as an audience member?
That is one that I think is like one of my favorite performances. Like, now that you bring it up, I immediately remember what you're talking about too. I just think like from the audience, you can tell when people put a lot of work into it and when people have a lot of passion for what they're doing and they really care about like the song they're playing. You can feel that, and it's different from just like, we're going to do everything by the book and this is exactly how the song is. It's different to like feel what people like caring sounds like, I guess.
Wow. I'm sorry guys, I got chill bumps. Like that's a good quote to feel. You said to feel what people care about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's what we're seeking. That's going to be a motto now. It's like you want people to feel what you care about. Man, that's great. So what Audrey, what about one of your favorite projects or performances from this year?
I think my favorite one might have been the Yacht Rock, because I felt really prepared for it, and I felt like it had a good balance of like piano solos to easier songs to play, like just chords,
right,
which I can learn quickly. And I felt like I was the most prepared for that one, and also I knew the most songs from it.
Right.
So my parents really liked Yacht Rock, so I've listened to most of those songs. So I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna play like Ride Like the Wind. Yeah, I can get behind this.
Awesome. Yeah, so you were equally challenged, but then just kind of got to be present and be supportive within the group.
Yeah.
Cool. So what kind of feedback, or us teachers like this word, assessment, do you get in this class? Is it more about growth, creativity, technical skill, or something else?
I feel like when I first came in, I had always gone off tabs or tablature, and I didn't really know like actual music behind it. I just know this is where I put my finger and it sounds like that. And like I remember in like the first week you were like, can you play an A sharp major? And I was like,
I don't know that I would have said A sharp, but that's just an example.
Yeah, flat. But I didn't know, and I feel like within the first like 6 months I could already like point out a lot more notes on the fretboard, and I feel like that's like a key thing about music is knowing the notes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's helped a lot.
Okay.
I feel like I was almost the opposite. I came in knowing like all chords and stuff because that's how I learned most of the songs. And then when I had to, do solos and stuff, then I had to learn how to like do it by ear or learn on my own. And I feel like it was like engaging a different part of my brain, instead of, because I can like play a chord as soon as I can just like sight read chords, but it's different like having to learn by ear. And I think that has helped a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think so for keyboards, it's interesting. A lot of people come in, and you were a different situation because a lot of kids come in having taken piano lessons and worked hard on a specific piece that they've, got the sheet music for, and it goes exactly this way. So a lot of times with a piano player that's just coming in for the first time to a pop or rock band setting, it's interesting to have to say, hey, I need you to play an E chord. And they're going, what? And I'm like, I have to go, oh, E, G sharp, B. And like, then they have to understand a music theory of that. So I did enjoy like being like, oh, you really can just look at the chord charts and your theoretical knowledge was enough to look at the chords and do it. But then it was great watching you pick out some of those solos by ear. I think of Sailing, the little piano break in there, and just watching you progress through that. And I think what works great in this class format is we're not taking tests, but it's a lot of just verbal feedback of, hey, why don't you try to think of this? Or, I think of when we did the Steely Dan concert, it's like, hey, is that a major chord or a minor chord? Because they would throw a major in where you'd expect it to be minor. So I think there's just a lot of conversation. We talk about that communication piece within a band. So cool. Yeah. And I'll talk just as the teacher, like, I'm working on the assessment part, when we do our professional development things and things like that. It's like assessment or data can end up being like we're supposed to use data to inform our instruction. Like, what are you getting back from students that tells you what they need in the future? And, I'm trying to grow ways to do that so I can say, you know what, this didn't go so, this part of the concert was a little shaky. What do I need to do to help, inform that? Like you talked about, Brody, learning notes. Yeah. Like, so we got people that are solely married to tab. We need to be like, all right, so the assessment of that is I can tell you to play a G, but you don't know where G is. But if I tell you to play first string, third fret, okay, cool. So then that informs what I need to do as far as coaching people up. But I like the conversational tone of how we do things. It's just really talking like a band. So you guys feel like this class has helped prepare you for performing or creating outside of school?
Definitely. I know me and a fellow CME member have made a little band, and it helps a lot in the communication aspect of being like, nah, I don't really like this, or I wish it sounded like this, or just felt like this. And it, like, CME has helped me, I guess, express what I want musically or what I like musically. Mm-hmm. And like how I like to work with other people, because it's everyone you work with is different. Mm-hmm. And you have to find like a specific way to work with them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like CME has helped me find those different ways to work with it.
Yeah, because really when you're in a class with a bunch of people, those are the people you have to work with. Yeah. So you don't necessarily get that choice. And so you've got to learn to communicate in a way that's and accept communication or criticism and not take offense. Yeah. And also, it sounds like you're getting more brave, if that's correct. Brave enough to communicate to people outside of class and say, hey, this is what I want to do. And it's not offensive. It's not attacking someone. It's just, hey, here's what I'd like. So that's cool. What about you, Audrey?
I feel like it's definitely helped to build my confidence. Before this class, really didn't have a lot of experience with performing for music. I have been doing drama since like 4th grade, but it's just it's a different beast. I think there's just there's a different type of collaboration from music that is a lot more about like, you can feel if it sounds off, and like learning the difference between like, this is what it sounds like when we all are playing our own parts, but we're not playing together. And this is what it sounds like when we fix everything and like we've all come together to play our parts in unison. I think like that has helped to prepare for like performing in the future.
Awesome. Yeah, I love hearing you make the comparisons to other fine arts programs and styles, talking about drama and visual art, because it really talks about, we are doing those things in the commercial music space, and it benefits us, benefits me. I know. I hope to always do it. All right, so now you guys get to give advice. So you get to give your point of view, and this is also advice for me because I like to listen to what you guys say because you know, I want to make the class better, and I want other teachers to have the confidence to do this sort of thing in their school. Because when I hear you guys, at our last episode talking about whether or not you would have actually been in a music program had commercial music not been an option, I want other teachers to have the ability to gain those students. So what would you say to a teacher who wants to start a commercial or popular music class, but isn't sure if students will care?
That's hard. I feel like a lot of students will care because like commercial music, like it's the music that we're listening to right now, today. And I feel like a lot of the other music programs is like older music,
right.
Like band stuff and orchestra stuff. And a lot of kids nowadays don't really listen to that on their free time. So I feel like a lot of students will care, and I feel like it teaches life lessons too, and not just like music lessons, like especially how to work with other people.
Right.
Because if you're in a job and you just don't like the person, you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to quit because I don't like this one person.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn how to work with them and learn how to deal with them. And I feel like it teaches good life lessons.
Awesome. What about you, Audrey?
Yeah, I think there's a lot more people in schools that like play music than you expect. There's a lot of people that I didn't think would like be guitar players or drummers that like I learned like more about them through this class, because people do like play instruments outside of school, and like sometimes they're not like band instruments, or they're not like, you don't know that they're singers. But I think through this class, like it just opens the door to like know a lot more about different people at your school and like what different types of students are like. So I think people will care.
Awesome. I'm glad you guys care. What do you think school administrators or parents need to understand about the value of classes like this?
Again, it kind of goes back to my last point, but that it teaches like more than just music.
Sorry.
It's okay. Just for the record, before this started recording people, Audrey said my phone's always on Do Not Disturb.
Someone was trying to play a Find My sound through my phone. I don't know why.
Oh, they're looking for you.
Yeah.
So anyways, all right. So your point, Brody, go back.
Yeah, it teaches more than just music, and it teaches how you work with other people. And I feel like that can be very valuable and like later in life, especially in like other academic classes when you have to work in group projects and you just don't like the person. You just have to learn how to work with it and learn how their mind works so you can go along with them and not. Yeah. That's about it.
Cool. Audrey?
I think fine arts really teaches you like a different aspect of learning, and it's a lot more about like the process and about like how it goes from start to finish for like creating something. And especially with performance, like learning things about like confidence and like it's okay to make mistakes and working with other people, like Brody said. I think like it teaches you a lot of valuable life lessons that sometimes just like sitting in class and like learning things like by the book, like this is how you do this, this is how you don't do this. It teaches you like a lot of things that you'll use later in life.
Yeah. I love how all your answers have nothing to do with music, really. But it's that's the point. Like, guys, that we're looking at the value of this. So I love it. So what about for future students thinking about joining this kind of program? What should they expect and why should they try it?
I feel like they should expect to learn and grow from it and not just be like, oh yeah, this is fun. Like it is fun, but a lot of it is about learning and growing as a musician and as a like teammate. And I feel like they should try it because again, it teaches you valuable life lessons, and just like a joy to be in a class where you just listen to music and play music and do what you love.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Audrey?
I think there's so much more like time and effort that goes into it than I thought it would be. I thought it'd just be like, oh, I learned my little part and then we put it together, and I won't need a lot of like individual time with it. But there's like so much more hard work that goes on behind the scenes than you expect. So you can't just like go in expecting to just like cruise by and like your show will go fine. You need to actually put in the work for it and like cooperate with other people, because otherwise it won't work out.
Yeah. Man, valuable life lessons. All right, so do either of you see music as being a part of your life beyond high school? We've already talked about this with Brody. And if so, how?
I definitely do. I'm planning on going to Belmont and studying music business. And I don't know quite what I want to do. Like ideally, yeah, session musician would be amazing, but that job is really hard to get and can be pretty hard on a person. But just anything music related would be like, I can't see myself doing anything else other than music.
It's awesome. How about you, Audrey?
I think it definitely will be. I don't really know how, but I know that I really like music and I really enjoy it. Maybe I just end up doing it like for personal projects and just on my own. Maybe I end up like, joining like a small band and we just like, it's not professional. Like we're not trying to like make a bunch of money or anything, just for fun. But I know like I definitely still want to continue doing music because I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, and to hear you guys both talk too about like the connections you make in the class and the communication and the working with people. Like you talk about being in a band, but not being like professional and trying to go out and like gig and everything, but just the connection you get with people in music. And I think that's a win. Like you don't have to go into a career in music to have music affect the rest of your life. So that's awesome. So final questions. What is one word you'd use to describe what this class has meant to you?
Gotta think about that for a second. I really can't think of anything at this point.
Audrey, you got something? Yeah, Audrey, you got something?
I'd probably say like teamwork is a good word.
Yeah.
It's so much more about working together and collaborating than like anybody on the outside would expect.
Awesome. Teamwork.
I would say listening. Like listening to the music first of all, and then listening to the other people in your band, like both in what they have to say and what they're playing.
Yeah.
Because if you don't listen, then you can't really do anything.
Yeah, that's Chill's moment number 2. Yeah, listening obviously to the music, but listening to each other. If only the world could do more of that.
All right.
Well, guys, it's been absolute joy to have you both here. After exams are over, taking your time before the summer to sit and talk with Mr. Bryant for more time. But I really appreciate it. It's clear that, commercial and popular music doesn't just build you guys as musicians, but it builds confidence, connection, and creativity. So to everyone listening, whether you're a teacher, a student, or someone who just believes in the power of music, keep listening, keep learning, and keep making something real. This has been Beyond the Stand. Rock on.
Nice. That was awesome.
Thanks for listening to Beyond the Stand. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please follow the show and share it with a fellow educator. You can find episode summaries, resources, and future updates at beyondthestand.com. This podcast is part of my capstone project at Belmont University, and I'm excited to keep learning and sharing along the way. Until next time, keep creating, keep adapting, and keep making music that means something.